Shalom, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Yeah, so I want to watch this video from this guy named Dr. Ruben on TikTok. And as you can see, he has 2 million followers. He brings out a lot of good information concerning just health. And as he put in his bio, I guess he's a pediatrician, he's an allergist, he's also an immunologist. So really good info from this dude, really smart concerning those 3 different, I guess you can call it professions. So let's watch this video right here, and then we'll grab some precepts surrounding it.
Holy cow, folks, this is huge news that everybody in the United States needs to know about, so you need to share this information widely because it could impact your health. Did you know that the CDC quietly pared down its food safety monitoring 2 months ago? That's right, because of funding cuts, FoodNet, which is the federal food safety system that normally monitors for different germs, had to pare down the 8 that they routinely monitor down to just 2. That's right, they're paring it down to just 2 germs that they're actively looking for at the federal level. So right now, they're only looking for salmonella and Shiga toxin producing E. coli. Before, they were looking at Campylobacter, Cyclospora, Listeria, Shigella, Vibrio, and Yersinia. Those aren't harmless pathogens. Those all can cause severe disease and potentially kill people, and they don't have enough funding now to be able to alert people about these various pathogens, and it's going to rely on state-level food safety systems in order to be able to identify these issues. And at the state level, some states don't even have enough funding to be able to do this properly. Therefore, we're at risk of having additional foodborne illness outbreaks, and people will be harmed unnecessarily. What you can do is talk to your legislators about funding food safety, because more surveillance equals safer food. Holy cow, folks, this is...
Yeah, so don't be surprised if at some point in time within the next few months you hear about a foodborne illness. And if he went too fast, and I'll do my best to break it down a little bit slower, but you have 8 different pathogens. I think another word for pathogen is just simply a germ. So you have these 8 different pathogens that the FoodNet usually looks for, and they monitor in order to suppress it if they actually see it, right? So it doesn't get too big, it doesn't spread. And these different 8 pathogens, they can cause diseases that could kill somebody. And the reason why they were monitoring them is because it's serious. It's serious, obviously. Now, they're not getting the federal funding that they used to. And because of that, they have to scale back on the amount of pathogens or germs that they're monitoring. So now they're only looking for 2 out of the serious, deadly 8 that they were previously looking for, which means that everybody is at a higher risk of being exposed to these other 6 pathogens that the FoodNet is not looking for anymore. And he said now it's coming down to the state level to monitor and look for these different pathogens. But at the state level, not every state has the funding or money to be able to do that. And so, like I said, don't be surprised if all of a sudden now you hear about some kind of foodborne illness from one of these different pathogens that aren't being monitored anymore. And then hearing about people dying from it. And who knows how fast, if one person gets it, how fast it can spread and how contagious they really are. See, those are all the things that the FoodNet was looking for, but not anymore. So it's very important for us, as we know that we're spiritual individuals. All we have to do is pray over our food and have faith, and we know that we're going to be okay. But at the end of the day, this is the kind of world and system that a wicked individual would create. Not caring about his subjects, I'll just put it that way. Not caring about the people that are in his kingdom, not worried about their health and their longevity. You see, Esau, Edom, he doesn't care. And it's crazy how people want to continue living in this world when everything is just created to make you die? The air we're breathing causes us to be sick. The food we eat, even the water. We're not supposed to be drinking water in plastic bottles, things like that. It's just causing us to just die every single day. But that's the wicked for you. That's the wicked. Now, aside from that, all of this is relevant because in the last days, the Bible said that there would be pestilences going around. So we're going to read that really quickly. Matthew 24. And we'll start reading at verse 5. It says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many." Now remember, this is when the disciples of Yahushua came to him and they asked, look, when is going to be the sign of your coming? How do we know you're coming? What are the signs? Verse 6 says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And we certainly have that, wars and rumors of wars right now. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines." We certainly have that in many places. "And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." So all of this is important because the Bible tells us that we should be watching as well as praying. So we should be looking for these different signs. And all these things are happening at the same exact time. You have wars. And of course, you have rumors of World War III on a weekly basis. You have famines happening in different countries. Of course, there are many pestilences. The C-19 was a huge one. It was a global one. But now we have the possibility of deadly foodborne illnesses running rampant. And who knows when, potentially within the next few months. You have earthquakes in many different places. On top of the mark of the beast, which is the microchip, you have talks about that on a weekly basis as well. And it's not just Neuralink. There are many, many companies out here that are working on their own version of their microchip. So you can say, oh yeah, well, there's always diseases. There's always different illnesses. Yeah, cool. But now you have more illnesses and more diseases that are happening at the same time that all these other end time prophecies are happening as well. At the same time that all these other prophecies are happening. That's why it's important to watch and pray. Because when you see these things happening, then it boosts your faith. Okay, yeah, I know what time we're living in. I know that I need to repent. I know that right now is a time to beg and ask for mercy and ask the Lord to increase my faith. Because who knows what else Esau Edom has up his sleeve. And that's why I'm going to throw this away now. I have this precept. I've been bringing this out a lot within the past few weeks. This is Psalm 64, verse 1. And as you can see at the very top, the heading says, "Prayer for deliverance from secret enemies." Now, we know who our enemies are, but at the end of the day, we don't know exactly what they're conspiring. But we know they're going to come down harsh very, very soon because they know that their kingdom is crumbling. Psalm 64, verse 1, it says, "Hear my voice," and this is a psalm of David. "Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words." And this is the point, verse 5, "that they may shoot in secret at the perfect," and the perfect are the Israelites. It says, "Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not." Now, the point that I wanted to bring out is this key word right here, secret. That they may shoot in secret. They're doing all these things, and of course, they're doing it behind secret councils, different meetings that nobody really knows about. I mean, who knows if they really just don't have the money or if they cut back the funding on purpose? Because we know what Esau likes to do. He likes to create the problem, and then he can come and bring the solution. And it could be as simple as, look, we need to cut back funding here, create these different illnesses, and what that does is it keeps everybody relying on his medical industry. Now you got to go to see his doctors and pay for his medicine, and now they continue to make billions and trillions of dollars in the medical industry. It could be that, or it could be the fact that, all right, they're going to use some kind of illness out here, foodborne illness, whatever it may be, to catapult into Jacob's trouble. Who knows? But at the end of the day, all we have to do is continue to watch and pray, and the Lord is going to make sure that we're okay. He's going to make sure that we're healthy, and that we're at full strength, and we can continue to serve him and do his will. You just got to be sincere and genuine when you do it. That's all. And yeah, I'm not going to make this long. I'm going to end off with those two precepts because that's the point. Esau likes to do things in secret, and that's why the title said in the article he quietly cut back funding to this program and quietly stopped monitoring for all 8 of those different pathogens. But at the same time, this is just simply prophecy. You know, we know that these different diseases and pestilences are going to be out here in these end days. So, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash Shalom.